uh, even putting good people in there, because that doesn't mean that they wouldn't have ideas that are contrary to the constitutional limitations and the power of the people, the freedom of the people. There'd be a very, very good chance we'd lose that freedom in a convention.
It's really fascinating because, again, is the tool the right tool for the job, right? So
it's the right tool for the job they created it for. The job they created it for is, we obviously are not perfect. We obviously have made mistakes. Article 5 will be here so we can fix them very quickly.
I think it's you mentioned this, and some of the things that we got into as we've been talking for a long time, Don. So I'm trying to catch up the audience to where we've been. But what the framers of the Constitution, what type of men were these? Were these really? Did they think they had it all figured out, or were these men of God that really sought after? Talk to us a little bit about the humility of the men that created it.
Okay. Well, in the first place, we know that they did not feel overly confident in what they had created. Otherwise, they would have left Article 5 out. They wouldn't have included it in the Constitution.
Right.
So
right.
This was the escape route had they made any major mistakes. That's what the Article 5 is for. That's what it was put in the Constitution for. What we found, and it didn't take too long to discover, that our founding fathers were the greatest, most true, most trusted citizens on the face of the earth. They recognized their freedom, came to this land where they could originate everything from A to Z, where there's no government whatsoever, and where they could overcome the handicaps of freedom that they had had in England and France and Germany, places that they came from. So the U.S. was a very special place for them, and the Constitution was written in such a way as to implement all the freedom that a person could exercise without harming anyone else.
Right. So the amount of humility, because they just created the Declaration of Independence. They were running under the Articles of Confederation. Richard Henry Lee was the president of the Continental Congress at the time, and so he was kind of the first president of the United States after independence. But again, we did not have a president of the United States until we created a convention, created the Constitution, created 3 different branches of government, and then created the position that George Washington would fill, and rightfully so. So therefore, I see a lot of the argument for, and sometimes even against it, but definitely for it, seems very legislative oriented. We want something specific, so let's have a convention for it.
Yeah.
It seems that the issue that trigger is bigger than the issue at hand. At least that's the way that I see it right now.
Yes, I would
do
agree
you?
with that. Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I think the Constitution is the most inspired document written in the last 2 centuries, or since its founding. And the reason we know that is because our freedom has been so extraordinary. Everybody wants to come to America.